Jon Jones vs. Tom Aspinall is on life support as we have barely heard anything about this fight. We are more likely to see Conor McGregor fight at this point. Dana White is getting less and less confident by the day, but I think I know the only way this fight can happen. But Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall has been the fight that everybody has wanted to see. I mean, this is my #1 most anticipated fight right now. But Dana White has slowly lost confidence that this fight is going to happen. It is clear with each interview he does. He first started off at UFC Tampa the last fight night of last year saying he was 100% confident the fight with Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall was going to happen.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah. I'll say 100%.
And this got us all excited, right? We all kind of took Dana White's word. We all ran with it. We said maybe he knows something that we don't. And it gave us hope going into the new year. But yeah, things slowly went downhill from there. As Dana White did another interview before UFC 311 talking about the Jones-Aspinall fight and went from 100% to very confident.
How close are you to locking up that Jon Jones-Tom Aspinall mega fight?
We're in the works. We're talking on it. I mean, I've said that I am very confident that fight happens this year.
Which, look, it might not sound like such a huge jump, but let's be real, 100% to very confident, that is a little bit of a jump. That is a mental sign that you are less confident, right? And I think the biggest red flag that caught a lot of people was after UFC 311, after Islam Makhachev submitted Renato Moicano. Dana White gave the #1 pound-for-pound spot to Islam, removing Jon Jones from #1.
Say that because that Islam deserves some maybe pound-for-pound #1 rankings.
He's already the pound-for-pound #1 rank.
But is he yours?
Yeah. I'll give it to him.
Now, I talked about it when this happened. I said this is not a good sign. A lot of other people picked up on this. But this week, it is yet another nail in the coffin, guys, because, wow, we might actually be screwed here. Dana White did an interview with Oscar Willis from the Mac Life, and he talked about the Jon Jones-Tom Aspinall situation. And for the first time, Dana White actually acknowledged a scenario where the heavyweight division moves on without Jon Jones, as in Jon Jones gets stripped.
Negotiations take time, completely understand. Do you still have a thing in your mind, like maybe by July or something, if Jon's not committed, we kind of have to look at maybe stripping him and letting Aspinall move on?
100%. Listen, if we don't get the fight done, we move on and we make another fight.
Dana White did say that Jon Jones wasn't scared of anybody, so that is a good sign.
You know, I know the fans like to mess with Jon and whatever. Jon Jones isn't afraid of anybody, and Jon Jones will fight anybody. It's just a matter of getting the fight done now.
So just to recap, we went from 100% to very confident to, yeah, we might have to move on without him. Yeah, this is really bad. At this rate, we are going to have the fight totally canceled and Jon Jones stripped by next week. And look, Jon Jones hasn't posted anything on Twitter. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I mean, Jon Jones is pretty unpredictable in that way. Tom Aspinall has also been quiet, which I think is a good sign, because I feel like Tom Aspinall, if there wasn't any movement, would be talking shit about Jon Jones, would be trying to tweet at him, trying to get this fight going. Tom Aspinall did, though, call out Jon Jones and the heavyweight division in an Instagram post referencing the Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Sergey Pavlovich fight, which speaks to a larger problem, which is the heavyweight division. And the heavyweight division has been suffering for a while. It is a very shallow division. I mean, there's a clear #1 and #2, and that is Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. After that, the skill gap, I think, is really huge. I think that those two are at the top of the division. I would love to see those two fight, but I don't think it's going to happen. But regardless, Jon Jones is leaving at some point, so we need these new contenders. We need new guys. We need to build the heavyweight division. Look at boxing. Boxing has a crazy heavyweight division. Heavyweight MMA could be exciting, right? If you had actual good guys that can end fights at any moment, it could be an amazing division. And I want to talk about how I think this fight could happen, because look, the Jon Jones-Tom Aspinall fight, it is looking as dead as ever. I think the confidence levels for this fight is at the lowest it has been in a while, and I think that the only way this fight could happen is if you involve Riyadh Season and Turki Al-Sheikh, which is not the craziest idea. I mean, Turki has saved tons of fights before. He's the reason we got Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. He's the reason we might get Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Turki has also worked with the UFC before, obviously with the Saudi Arabia cards, and also sponsoring the Sphere card UFC 306 so that the UFC could increase their budget. And I could very well see a scenario where the same thing happens, where Turki Al-Sheikh says, bring this fight to Saudi Arabia, let's have it here, and I will pay Jon Jones whatever he wants. I will pay him the 20, 30, 40 million he wants. And if that happens, what is Jon Jones' excuse going to be? I mean, I think at this point he would just be afraid. We know that Dana White was in Saudi Arabia this weekend. He usually doesn't go overseas for pay-per-views, let alone fight nights. And I believe he said that he had a meeting with Turki, so I wonder if it does involve this fight. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I already know there's going going to be comments defending John Jones, saying, oh, well, John Jones shouldn't fight Tom Aspinall. It does nothing for his legacy. First of all, if you have a belt, you don't just defend it against contenders that help your legacy. You defend it against who deserves it. Tom Aspinall very well could look very good on John Jones's resume. If you look at Floyd Mayweather and Canelo, right? Floyd took on a young Canelo that didn't have as much experience and has a name on his resume. So now when we talk about Canelo, when Canelo wins a fight, we talk about how Floyd Mayweather was able to beat him. Tom Aspinall becomes the heavyweight champion and goes on to defend for years. And we're looking at John Jones like, wow, this guy has a crazy resume, and he would have beaten fighters from 3 different generations. And there is a method of victory to John Jones. We talked about this before. You know, Tom Aspinall hasn't seen the later rounds. How does he look like there? I mean, can John Jones take down Tom Aspinall? Can he lay on top of him, gas him out? And maybe for the remainder of the fight, maybe he uses his fast striking. I feel like Tom Aspinall is faster, especially with his hands, and I think he's going to catch John Jones. We'll see, and that's why I hope we get to see the fight. Let me know in the comment section below your confidence level for the fight. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Check out my last video where I talked about Israel Adesanya getting knocked out by Nasruddin Imavov. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.